Yo, what is good, boys? Welcome back to the Creed Talk. Today we're going to be talking about Proverbs 3:9, and that says, "Honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase." So, as we, gain wealth in this life, if many of y'all are working towards, owning your own business, trading, whatever, right? We're going to have an increase of money, right? We're going to have abundance in our life, and like it says, with the first bit of money that we get, each and every single week, let's just say, for example, we give back, right? We give to God, right? It says what? It says you give back to the Lord, right? And with the first fruits of all thine increase, honor the Lord with your substance. Okay, so it's not talking about, yes, many people look at that, and it's people, always saying that, oh, you must, donate to this church, donate to your churches, that's what God wants. The way that I look at it, and the way that I believe is true, is not donating to churches, right? Yes, you're donating to the house of the Lord, but a lot of the times, these churches, most of the churches, they use it for cool stained windows that literally, bro, for example, my church, bro, they're getting all the money that we saved up and they're spending literally $100,000, like $50,000 on stained glass, like around the entire church. You know how expensive stained glass is? It is so ridiculously expensive. They spend like $50,000, like $100,000, probably $50,000 on stained glass. That's what our donation money is going to. So a lot of times these churches, yes, they give back to the community, yes, they do that and that. But when it's talking about giving back to the Lord, I don't take that as, oh, let me just donate to a church. Let me just donate to a church. No. Donate your money that you gain to the people that need it. Donate to the Lord by giving to others. That is what it means by show love to the Lord, is giving to the children of the Lord, giving to other people who need it. That is what love God calls us out to have. Love for others, to be able to say, you know what, 10% of my money, the money that I made this week, $10,000, I said, for example, let me give you $1,000. Let me go out and pay for someone's groceries this week, right? Let me go and find a homeless man on the street and give him $500, right? Let me go get him a whole meal. Let me get him, this or that, right? All these different things. That is what I deem as giving back to the Lord, right? So that is what I've planned. That is what I've planned on, guys, is not only spending money and donating money, but in the future, when I get to that level where I'm not having to work 24/7, right, where I have a sustainable income from trading, I'll have more time freedom, and I'll be able to give back, with my money as well as with my time. And I'll be spending time at homeless shelters and different things like that, and I'm gonna be humble, and I'm gonna give back in that sense as well as the money that I'm making, because there's no point in holding on to this money if it's just for us, right? And especially when it comes to people that need it the most. We should always give back to these people. God wants us to do that. And so, that's been something I've wanted to do for a while, is just not just go to, Salvation Army and give them money and this and that. But to go out and do it myself and not look, for anything in return. I don't know, I'm so excited to be able to make $10,000 in a day and be able to go out in public and see a mom, a single mom with 2 kids, and she's been in line and her card gets declined, and I'll be right behind her and I'll pay for it. Stuff like that. Being able to just bless people's day and being that sign from God to them that they're gonna make it, right? All these different things, just showing compassion and showing love. That's what God is calling us to do with every bit of money that we get. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up today. Appreciate y'all boys for watching. If y'all want to join the Discord, it will be left down in the description. Other than that, I will see y'all boys tomorrow. Peace out.